Welcome back. This is still the Sunday interview, and our guest is JIMI AGBAJE. Thanks for staying with us, sir.
Thank you.
Now, let me continue like this. Are you a romantic person?
Yes, I am romantic, but not publicly romantic. Let me put it like that.
You buy flowers and do the likes?
Yeah, I can do all that, but privately. So you're not likely to find me kissing my wife in public, for example.
Okay.
In fact, there's a good story, or a real story of our wedding day. If you still watch the video, I remember we came out, and if you read the lips, where my wife was saying, "Aren't you going to kiss me?" You know, and I said, "No way."
At least you have license for that.
So I'm just explaining to you that I'm not a publicly romantic person.
Okay.
So you know, if you watch the video,
private.
oh, I kiss very much, very, very much, and I'm very good at kissing too. So, but like I said, publicly, no. Romantic, yes. Oh, I am. I'm a very emotional, very sentimental kind of person.
Okay. Now, I read that you dated your wife for about 8 years, going to...
You are reading too much.
Now, let me ask you why you waited that long. Were you trying to make up your mind, or were you trying to grow the bank account?
No. It had nothing to do with that. We met in the university. So, of course, we're not going to get married in the university. We met in our second year.
Okay.
So we spent 3 years together in the university.
So she read law?
She read law.
Okay.
I read pharmacy. We then I went for internship. She went to law school. Okay. We went for youth corps. So that, I think, accounts for 5 years. 5 years. After youth corps, I was planning to go to do a master's program.
Okay.
She also was going to do a master's program. Along the way, I got admission, but then changed my mind. So I think we spent that first year after youth corps, which was the 6th year, whether we're going or we're not going. When we decided we're not going, we then said, well, is it time to settle down? And, so we did that. So it had nothing to do with fear. Okay. I tell the younger ones today that when we were getting married, we didn't have anything. And it had nothing to do with what are you going to have. In fact, all I had, I think, was I had a bed. I'm very particular, like I said, I love sleep. So I put all my investment on an air conditioner. And that was what I had, really. We didn't have any sitting chairs, things like that. We eventually got a carpenter to do us a dining table and 4 chairs.
Okay.
And so those 4 chairs, those dining chairs, also, you know, were used to sit for guests anytime they came, you know. So there was nothing, you know, and I think, you know, like she says today, yeah, people look at you and they don't know where you're coming from. I'll tell them where you're coming from, you know, that kind of thing. So for me, it's been fun. It's been fun. And the fact that you didn't have anything. So it had nothing to do with I needed to have a house, I needed to have a car, I needed to have this, I needed to have that, because we didn't have. And we grew up together, building whatever we've had, and I think we respect each other, and for that. Okay. So it's worked well. You
know how they say, like every man was, eat a drink, smoke, or womanize.
Okay.
Which of the 3 do you do, or is it a combination of the 3?
Well, I don't smoke.
Okay.
You know, they say what you say can will be used against you. Let me put it like this. I don't smoke, so that's out of it. Drink, I'm a social drinker.
Okay.
Womanize, I don't womanize. But then, I don't want to also give a picture that I'm St. Joseph.
Okay.
When I say I'm St. Joseph, I've smoked before.
Okay.
I drink.
Okay.
I've had girlfriends. So, I'm not St. Joseph.
Okay.
But
so
but you're not likely to say, oh, JIMI is a womanizer. You're not likely to say JIMI is a chain smoker or JIMI is a drinker. I don't know if I'm putting myself in trouble, but that's the way I would put it.
Now, let me ask this question. Who are some of your role models? Who are the people you look up to? Who inspires you? Who are the people that you draw strength from their life, from their biographies? Who are some people who influence you?
I think like I said, you read a lot, you watch a lot. So I keep telling people that I don't have one role model. You try and get the best of every kind of person, and you decide that this is the way I want to go. Let me give an example. I was talking about continue to be yourself and in office and all. Let me just give an example of a Peter Obi as governor of Anambra State. For me, he's a model in some ways. I'm not even talking about, he's delivered in his state, but more importantly is that he remained himself right through the period he spent as governor. So for me, I'd like to see myself in that mode. So I'm just giving that as an example. You may say he was an extreme, but that is something that I'd love to be. I'd love, at the end of the day, when I become governor, for that period, to be myself, such that my life does not change that much. That much. It'll change, but not that much, So you'd be picking models from different people and trying to be a better person than all those people.
All of them, okay. All right, now you started JK Pharmaceuticals at a very young age. And tell me how challenging it was to be as a young entrepreneur. Well,
I think I've normally been fast for my time. Well, now I'm getting old. I mean, I got married early. I went to school early. I got married early. I got married at 25. So I've always been quite fast. I set up early because, like I said, I was very involved in my profession. So I set up challenges. It's very challenging, very challenging. But then I used to tell people that it was tough. I had to start borrowing. Then, well, I borrowed money. My father did not want to guarantee my loan because he, like I said, he worked in the bank, and bankers, if you know them, don't believe in taking loans themselves. So I first had the first problem of raising money to set up my practice. And I needed to take a loan. I needed a guarantor. And he said, sorry, he's not going to guarantee with all my promises that I would pay back. And he said, the first principle is that once you guarantee, it means that you are the debtor.
Okay.
And he's not ready to pay back the debt. So I managed to bully him through my, one or two people, my in-law. When my in-law then said he was going to guarantee, then of course he had no choice but to guarantee me. So that was the first phase. Then you took the loan, and to pay back was not as easy as I thought. So it was tough. It was tough. So the first 6 months, there was no income. Thanks to my wife, she was working. So she was the one looking after the home. And I think I was on that roller coaster of not having money for about the first 4 years of my practice. My pharmacy could not be fully stocked. I think for the first 2-3 years, I didn't have enough to fill the place up.
Shelves,
so that was how it was. And but then with time, you got over that. It's not that I've ever, my friends then used to call me Mr. Stock. Mr. Stock, because I never had money really. I never had cash. My cash was in stock. So when they say they want to spend money on this, I say, where's the money? I don't have money. All my money is in stock, that kind of thing. And that's how it was. But one has been able to get out of that. Okay. So for people who think that it's all rosy, no, it's not rosy. You got to hit it and hit it hard. But you got to be determined that you're going to overcome. And I think, again, what drove me was that, like I said, I had problems getting my father to guarantee my loan. So I owed it to show him that I'm going to succeed. So don't think that I'm not going to succeed. And I think that was some other impetus to make sure that I succeeded.
Now, you also chaired the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria. I think you were barely 40 when you did that.
Remember. Lagos State. Yes.
Yeah, you actually did.
Yes.
Now, what was the experience? Because I can imagine you had all those, big old.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That
how was it like?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That what mattered was that you were clear on what you wanted to do. You had to step on toes. I mean, I'm still paying a price for some of the roles I've played in the Pharmaceutical Society, in Lagos. And even I was chairman of the Association of General Practice Pharmacists for the country. So there's still many people, for example, in the pharmacy business today, who believe that I was against them. That's, you know, in terms of those who were registered to, or not registered to deal in medicines, you know, so I'm still paying for it, one way or the other, you know, but I think what mattered was that you were clear what the vision of the society was. Again, like I said, in governance, you're able to sell that vision and then get people to buy into it. So whatever you were doing was what the people wanted. And it wasn't a personal thing. It was something that we had agreed we wanted to do, and you were the arrowhead, and you moved in that direction. Okay. So it was okay. That you are a leader does not mean that you don't respect your elders. We had elders. In fact, we relied a lot on the elders because you needed the experience. You needed, I mean, there were people who had the wisdom, you know, to move on. And so we used to have these sessions where I insisted the elders must be part of the strategy sessions so that they knew that they were also part of that process. So you didn't say that I'm now the chairman and therefore they were no longer relevant. It meant that you really had no idea where you were going, because if you know where you're going, then you know you need everybody on board.
All right, would you encourage any of your children to pursue political careers?
I won't discourage them. I won't discourage them. Again, what I've tried to do, also learning in terms of role modeling, is that I found out that many leaders, many political leaders, not only in Nigeria but across the world, tend to have problems in their family lives, tend to have problems with their own children, either because there's a disconnect. There's a disconnect between this great man and his immediate family. So what I've tried to do is to involve my family on a regular basis. They're very clear what I'm doing. They're very clear why I'm doing it. So it's not a situation where my political life is not their business. So it is their business. But I'm only saying it so that we can continue to carry ourselves along, and they know what I stand for. So it means that if any of them now decides he or she wants to go into politics, it will be his or her decision, not mine. I'm not going to encourage, neither am I going to discourage.
What are some of the legacies you would like to be remembered for, you know, way after, you know?
Wow. I'm not sure. I think like everybody, you want to know that you came into this world and you made it a better place. You come into the world and you've impacted on people's lives, people that have worked closely with you, people that you have impacted in terms of what you do. I think that's what really gives you satisfaction. You go out and people tell you, you go to places and people are saying, oh, you don't remember me, this is what you did. You know, and I think that gives you satisfaction. So it's making your world a better place. I think that's really what drives one, what makes you a fulfilled person. That's the way I would summarize it. All
right, finally, let me ask, what's this one thing that you think that you know about yourself, but people don't know, but you think they deserve to know?
What people don't know about me? I think people look at you, you know, depending on who you are, or, you know, people look at you differently. Some people look at you and say you're an arrogant person. And I say, no, I'm not an arrogant person. I'm a shy person. I think people don't believe that, but I'm a shy person. Yes, I can go out there and talk to the people, but if I go into a hall or something, I'm not the kind of person. It's not even the heartbeat. People expect you to shake everyone. And I'm like, must you shake everybody? You know, so I'm a shy person. That people don't know. People say he's a difficult person. I'm not a difficult person. I'm a very down-to-earth person. I'm a straightforward person. So people will look at you differently. He's a hard person. I'm not a hard person. I just told you I'm a very emotional person. And that's honest. So I can melt easily. Things touch me very easily. So I think this is the way I'd want to put it.
Okay. This is the Sunday interview, and in the last 30 minutes we've been speaking with the PDP Lagos State gubernatorial candidate, JIMI Agbaje. Of course, he's been telling us a lot about himself. Thank you so much for coming on the program, sir.
Thank you, Joke.
And of course, thank you so much for watching. Join us again next week. I'm Joke Jaja. Bye for now.